Well, three things struck me. Bob and Heather had their great job. One is that gentleman is paying a lot of attention to the news. He may be playing a lot of golf, but boy, is he keeping up on what's going on. Second is he showed his hand a little bit on that Alabama Senate race, Mo Brooks. I didn't say he was going to endorse him, but I think it was pretty clear that that's strongly the way he's leaning, and that's going to make some shock waves throughout. And then he put his finger on something that I think is undercovered, which is the provocative actions of both China and Russia since Joe Biden took office. I've long thought that this is one of the biggest challenges our president's faced, trying to figure out how to get leverage over those two countries. And I think the former president put his finger on an area that we could be hearing a lot more about in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Steve, what did you think in reference to specifically the endorsements that he was talking about, and then also foreign policy?
Sure. Well, first, congratulations on a really important interview. Regarding foreign policy, to me, that was probably the most consequential part of the interview, of many consequential parts. When he talked about the way China spoke to the United States, that the foreign minister of the Chinese Communist Party came to American soil and dressed down the U.S. Secretary of State, who was feckless in his response. And President Trump quite correctly asserted that that never would have happened under President Trump's administration. I think if President Trump only has one term, and I hope he has another term, but if he only has one, his most enduring legacy will be changing the paradigm, completely shifting the United States posture toward China, toward realizing the existential national security and economic threat that China is to America, and really moving the center of American politics in relation to China. Regarding the endorsements, I think that was interesting, too. I agree with Mark that he quasi-endorsed Mo Brooks right there. But here's the reality that I think a lot of folks in the corporate media, a lot of even elected politicians, even Republican elected politicians, still don't want to fully grasp. Donald Trump has firm control over the voters of the Republican Party. That is the reality. He is far and away the most compelling and indispensable figure in Republican politics. And when President Trump says that he can, in many cases, decide these races, that's not boasting. That is, in fact, the reality. And his endorsement will, in most cases, tilt the balance where there are competitive races. And this is so crucial because not only do we want to take the House in 2022 and the Senate, but we want to take them with America First Republicans, not squish establishment Republicans. President Trump will be crucial in that effort.
Bruce, let's go back to the very beginning of what ended up being a very long interview in reference to the boycotts with the MLB and the woke corporations who jumped in so suddenly on the changes to the Georgia law when it came to voting. But then they turned around and the MLB announced that they're moving it to Denver, that has a less diverse community and also stricter voting laws.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Heather, by the way, I know the president really likes you, so it didn't surprise me that you got this interview, okay? There's a lot of respect. He really meant that. But listen, down here in Georgia, oh, my gosh, I don't know what they are doing down here, but they are cutting their nose off and spite their face. Because I can't tell you, listen, how many of my friends of friends who actually were small business people that related to the Cobb Arena, that have small venues around there, that relied on the All-Star game coming and many other venues that were coming. This is so stupid. It's full of so much hypocrisy. But listen, here's the great news about this. Man, I'm so tickled about this. When you have some craziness like this, it brings and it spurs other American ingenuity. It brings other businesses. I'm a result of someone trying to cancel me back in 1984. It says, you'll never own a jewelry company. Oh, yeah? Watch this. So this is what's going to happen. This is what I see that's coming out of this president, I say former president, President Trump, is the enthusiasm, as Steve said, my brother from another mother, about resurrecting and embracing the America First candidates. This is what's so motivating about all this craziness. It is going to even spur even more of the American people to come up, step up, build their own business, bring their own dreams, and bring some strong competition. I was tweeting, start your own league, start your own business. This is the time. This is what I see.